Hello, my friends. It is day 291, and we're reading the sixth chapter of the Gospel of John. And before we get into our recap for today, I want to thank you for taking a moment to check out this video. Hopefully, you're finding the yearly Bible reading program enjoyable. Hopefully, it's encouraging you. I know it's at the end of the year, but we are preparing for the upcoming year, 2026, where we're going to read the Bible yet again, and we're going to involve as much community as possible within this year's reading. So if you are interested, please check out www.selflesschurch.org. And on the home screen there, you can RSVP to join us as we read the Bible next year. We're going to have all sorts of resources and tools that we're going to make available to you. And we'd love for you to be a part of the community. So, excuse me, we have one chapter today, and it is a powerful one. We see there are a number of things happening. People are coming to Jesus Christ. They are experiencing his miracle working power. They're experiencing the confirmation of his messianic ministry. So all of these things should really have them thinking, okay, wait a minute, we've just really walked into something here, and we need to harness this. We need to make sure we're capturing this and believing it and trusting it and leaning into it, if you will. Unfortunately, there are a number of things happening here where they're seeing Jesus do all these wonderful works and these miracles, and that's all they want. They're not so much engaged with the teaching that he has to give. And the thing that's so amazing about this is the way in which looking back, it captures the situation, the circumstance of Israel, who seemingly love the gifts of God more than they love God himself. And it also captures the world that we live in today, where we seem to sometimes, and we can easily love the things God does, the things that he gives more than we love him. And so whenever Jesus is in the situation where he begins to talk about what he refers to, the bread of life, and the responsibility of believing in him as the fulfillment, as the totality of everything that has been done and experienced in Israel's history. When he begins to teach like this, and he begins to show that Torah really is pointing to him, that everything in Torah is about him, he embodies it. Those things, whether it be a miracle or experience or person, they point to and they provide a message about Jesus. People begin to get really upset. They begin to misunderstand him. They begin to misrepresent him. And they begin to question him. And many of them even began to walk away. And it was not because they didn't get fed. It was not because they didn't receive a miracle. It was not because they didn't get a healing. It was because they did not appreciate or understand or receive the teaching that he gave. And I do believe this, brothers and sisters. You know, I was really thinking about this passage, and listen, whenever it gets down to it, the thing that determines whether or not we're able to stand in the faith and in our belief of Jesus Christ is going to boil down to the teaching, to how do we interpret, apply, and share the message that we are believing in, the one that we receive. So when you look at verse 60, when it says, many of the disciples said, this is very hard to understand. How can anyone accept it? Jesus became aware of it, and he understood that his disciples were complaining, and he shows them, excuse me, that many people can't come to Jesus unless the Father is drawing them. Now, because of this, in verse 66, it says, many of the disciples, same people who were receiving all the great things, they turned away and deserted Jesus. But then Jesus turns, to his 12 disciples, and he asked them, are you also going to leave? And I love the response. Peter, in typical fashion, jumps up and responds, we believe and we know you are the Holy One. Where are we going to go? You have the words that have eternal life. Okay. And so these men were convicted, but even in saying this, as if Peter was speaking for all of them, Jesus acknowledges that even among them, there's a devil. All right. And so you can see just how off, these circumstances were, people's spirits, their commitments, their purpose, their motivation. All this was seemingly off, right? And so it was just very, very, very interesting to understand what was going on here and why it was happening and how Jesus dealt with it and how it serves as a warning to us to check our hearts and our motivation, because we might be around, but that doesn't mean that we're apart, right? And that's what we see happening in this passage. So we're going to keep reading. I love to know your thoughts. I love to know what you're thinking, what you're getting out of this, and how it is blessing you. Leave your comment in the comment box below, and we'll continue to learn and grow together. Until next time, thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. And remember, live by the word.